that Srila Gurudev and Srila Bharati Maharaj, they are very much different. They're not speaking the same things. So, after the departure of Srila Gurudev, many of Gurudev's disciples came to Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj to take further shiksha from him. But some people, narrow-minded people, they begin to even criticize and they begin to say that Srila Bharati Maharaj cannot supply what Srila Gurudev would to supply, he used to supply. He don't speak like Gurudev. He does not behave like Gurudev. So how he can help Gurudev's disciples? And they brought this issue to him. Srila Padma Prabhu, he told this to Srila Maharaj. And Srila Maharaj said, yeah, this is true. I'm not like him at all. Who can be like him? He's so unique. He has so many specialities. The way he was allowed to speak, none of us are. So, I'm definitely not like him. And all acharyas, they're not like same. All acharyas have their speciality, have their vaishishtya. So, but one thing for sure, I know that we have the same goal. And because we have the same goal, I may take you from this side, he may take you from this other side, but we reach the same point. Our goal is same, Radha Dasyam. We are all Gauriyas. In our Gauriya, we are all aiming and seeking the same goal. But some missions, they have some priority and speciality. For the concern of the general public speaking, they should always speak basic things, basic simple things. But it requires you to study more. You have to study more by yourself. You have to read more by yourself, and then you inquire from Srila Gurudev deeper questions. But Srila Gurudev, he did the opposite. He did not wait us to bring questions. He already brought all the answers for all the higher points. And that was his speciality, that he was always giving very deep Raganuga Katha, very deep, and not waiting for us to even be qualified or even to desire that. He was automatically giving us, because somehow there was qualification for that. Gurudev would never do something which is out of line. Huh? Gurudev, he's not inconsequence. He's not, doing any kind of misleading. So, although we are not understanding that we are qualified, we really think that we are not qualified. But if he's giving to us, Haribo, if he's giving to us, then because somehow we are able to hear that. Once, Srila Bhaktivai Baba Puri Goswami Maharaj is also very strict. He never speaking high class Harikatha. Always basic. One day he walked in Gopinath Bhavan, and Srila Gurudev was giving Harikatha about Rai Ramananda Samvada. And then he sit down in the stage and asked Gurudev what he is speaking about. And Gurudev said, he was speaking about Ramananda Samvada. And he was so upset. See, how can you speak? They are not qualified to hear all these things. You speak basic things. And Gurudev said, yes, Maharaj, you're right, this and that. Maharaj stood up and left. When Maharaj left, Gurudev told everyone, look, I know you are all unqualified, but anyway, I want to give, and I'm giving by force. So how much great fortune we have to Bina association of Srila Gurudev. And even further, everything is in his books. And he was not limiting that to anyone. When devotees were distributing book on the streets, Gurudev they used to ask Gurudev, your books are very high class. Can we give this to all kinds of people? People will not understand anything you are talking about. He said, yes, all to all. All my books are for all. If they not understand today, tomorrow they will. And that book will make his way, its way. And that person will take the book and it will reach the hands of another one who is able to do that. Somehow, this message will go to someone. These books are a living entity. These books are not material things. This book, first of all, is not different from the Acharya who wrote it. And second, is not different from Radhakrishna and Mahaprabhu because it's describing them. They are living entities, living beings, transcendental entities. So they will pave their way. So Gurudev told, all for all. So, in this way, Srila Bharati Maharaj, anyway, he gave so many beautiful instructions to us, even further points than what Srila Gurudev gave even. So that is to completely debunk this idea that he is different than Gurudev, that he is not qualified as Gurudev. This is completely bogus statements. They are all in the highest level and they can nourish us in a very nice way. I'm just going to share with you 4 points which were brought by Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj and which will elucidate very, very clearly what is his position, and it will make a great contribution to your bhajan also. So, the first point to understand is regarding Uttama Bhakti. The definition of Uttama Bhakti, or the highest devotion that we can have for God, for Krishna, it is described in the shloka Anyabhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karmadya Navritam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttama, written by Srila Rupa Goswami. This verse is very famous verse. I think most of you are familiar with this verse and can even explain this verse. But I will put one question now which will somehow puzzle some of you. This verse discusses and explains what is the definition of Uttama Bhakti. Okay? It is Anyabhilashita Shunyam, devoid of all other desires, then to please Krishna. Right? Gyan Karmadi Anavritam. It's not covered by Jnana, Karma, Tapasya, Yoga and other things. Right? Then it is Anukulyena. It is favorable to Krishna. And Krishna Anushilanam. It is meant for the sole pleasure and satisfaction of Krishna. Correct? Clear? Okay, this is the definition of Uttama Bhakti. But who is doing Uttama Bhakti? Who is doing the highest Bhakti? Because from the verse itself, if you take it literally, you won't be able to get. Because even the cows in Vrindavan, the birds, they are also doing Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Even Madhya Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Sakas and Sakis, they are doing also Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. So among them, who is doing the highest one? So, and if you say Madhura Rasa is superior, then in Madhura Rasa, who is doing this superior bhakti, this highest bhakti? From the verse, not in a general conception, that we know the answer. But from the verse, how can we understand that? Any idea?
I think the associates of Krishna, because they are doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna.
There are two concepts in this one. First is that Srila Gurudev explained Krishna Anushilanam. Krishna means Radha. So to please Srimati Radhika, this is Uttama Bhakti. It means to become a maid servant of Srimati Radhika. This is Uttama Bhakti. Because this verse is in Avideya Tattva. It means what is for us Uttama Bhakti, not for Nityasiddha Parikaras. So if you answer Radharani is doing Uttama Bhakti, this is wrong answer. Krishnanushilanam, to please Srimati Radhika, for her satisfaction, this is Manjari Bhava, this is Uttama Bhakti, this is the highest position a jiva can attain. Correct? So, but Srila Bharati Maharaj, he explained from another side. He gives another explanation. He's saying Anukulyena. The word Anukulyena is coming from Anukula Devi. Anukula Devi is the name of Radha. So, Anukulyena means to serve Krishna under guidance of Srimati Radhika. That is the highest bhakti. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Because Krishna is Krishna Bhagavan. Krishna Anushilanam. There's also two meanings are there. Krishna and Krishna. So Krishna Anushilanam, because in Sanskrit grammar, if you have two vowels, same vowels, ending and starting two words, they will merge and they will become long. So Krishna and Krishna and Anushilanam, this double A will merge and then becomes Krishna. Then we can interpret like Krishna or like Krishna. Either Radha or either Krishna. So but from another side, Anukulyena means under guidance of Anukula Devi, Srimati Radhika, we will please Lord Krishna. This is Uttama Bhakti. A very nice explanation of Srila Maharaj. We have to go deep in these matters. From a general perspective, it looks like that we know the meaning, we know the definition. Looks like it's a commonplace for us. But when a pure devotee unfolds, he opens one small window, then you see a huge, horizon outside. Expands your consciousness. The words are windows of the consciousness. Every time you learn a new word, your consciousness expands for a new world, for a new possibility. Language is very powerful in unlocking consciousness, expanding consciousness. Everything is about language, words, meanings and concepts. Yes. That's why Kaviraj Goswami, he's saying, Siddhanta boliye chite na koro alas. Iha hoite Krishna lage shudrita manas. To focus your mind in Krishna, you must learn Siddhanta, proper Siddhanta. All the conclusions of the scriptures, we must learn that. Because our consciousness will be modeled in a proper way to take us to Krishna. It is by language, it is by knowledge, it is by the Siddhanta. So, is it clear? Any doubt? Any questions about this?
So Maharaji, so the shloka is explaining the kind of bhakti that the Manjuris does for for Radharani. So it is not for nothing. It has nothing to do with us
Yes, it has everything to do with us.
because we are under Gurudev, and
That
Gurudev
is-
is
That
That's
is
the
for
link.
us. That is what we can achieve.
yeah
That's the highest bhakti we can achieve. Radha Das.
under guidance of Gurudeva, so we can do service to the Manjuris and so on to Radhika.
Just directly to Radhika.
No. The verse is not mentioning about these details, no? So but he giving the goal. What is the goal? Of course, we will go in line of Guru Parampara's succession. That is a fact. We will not approach directly Radha in that sense. Yes. But the goal is that we will be serving that goal, that desire.
But Maharaj, you're saying that we cannot answer that Srimati Radhika is like the topmost. This is not this shloka is not about this. It is from Abhideya Tattva. It's actually from our perspective, right? That Radha Dasyam is the highest.
Yeah.
This is the topmost that we can achieve from our perspective.
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
okay.
This is process.
very interesting
Yeah.
because when you read the commentary of Vishwa Chakravarti Thakur with Avatikas, it unfolds, but then you're saying that like, actually it's from our perspective it becomes a little bit more unfolding. So
Yeah. This is the definition of Abhideya, process. Through this process, we will achieve our goal. What is our goal? Radha Dasya.
Radhe.
That should be clear. Very clear. Our goal is not Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem, inside Krishna Prem is Radha Dasyam. Because inside Krishna Prem, many things are there. Many varieties of Prem are there. So if you say Krishna Prem is vague, it's in a general sense, broad sense. But once you go deep, for us this Krishna Prem is what? Tatat Bhavi Chamai. Inside this Krishna Prem, it has many varieties. It has Kamanuga, it has Sambandhanuga. Kamanuga is Madhurya Ras. Sambandhanuga, all the rasas. Sakhya, Vatsalya, Shanta, Dasya. Inside Kamanuga, two kinds are there. Sambhogi Chamai, Tatat Bhavi Chamai. Sambhogi Chamai are the kinds of the Sakhis, the Gopis, who want to have relationship with Krishna directly. They want to go for Rasalila, they want to enjoy Krishna directly. Like Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champakalata, all of them. Sambhogi Chamai. But Tatat Bhavi Chamai, this is the Manjaris. They want to please Krishna, they want to give him happiness and satisfaction, but through the service of Srimati Radhika. Yes. It's all about Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem is many varieties of Krishna Prem. Like that. So, another very nice teachings Maharaj is giving us is regarding Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is known as Gauranga, because his limbs are golden. Because he has the golden color of Srimati Radhika has manifested inside his body. Outside of his body. And her bhav manifested inside him. Therefore, Mahaprabhu is Krishna, fully Krishna, with the bhav and the ankanti of Srimati Radhika. This is fine. But it is common to say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Krishna has taken the moods of Radha and then became Mahaprabhu. Isn't it? Correct? Krishna has taken the moods of Radha and then became Mahaprabhu. But Srila Bharati Maharaj is saying no. Not like that. If Krishna, he steals something or he takes something which he does not know how to operate or how to use, then what he can do with that? He has no idea what is Radha's love. So, he's not taking, either stealing. What he's doing? He's taking shelter of Radha's love. That changes completely the picture of the thing, of the discussion. Because that makes Krishna humble. Krishna is taking shelter of Radha's love. He's becoming a disciple of Radha's love. Radhika Primera Guru, Ami Shishanath. The love of Radha is Krishna's Guru. And then, as Mahaprabhu, he goes to school. And principal and teachers are Lalita and Vishakha, Raya Ramananda and Swarup Damodar. And Rupa Goswami also. Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari. So Krishna now he is going to what? He is going to learn
Learn the love.
how to use this very complex machine, Radharani's love.
Yes.
Very difficult machine. You have to what? You have to be a PhD in prema to be able to use it. Yes, it's very very special. So Krishna he becomes humble, because if you say that Krishna is taking and running away, then this is very arrogant.
Yeah.
He can steal butter and run away, no problem. Butter he can chew and eat, no problem. But Radha's love is a different category, a different object. He cannot act like that. And he cannot even do without Radha's permission even. So very humble, he's folding his hands and he's taking shelter of Srimati Radhika.
Right.
He's requesting, please, let me understand your love. Sri Radhaya Pranayam Mahima Kidrisho Vanaeva Asvaludan Adbhutta Madurima Kidrisho Vamadhiya Saukanchas Samadanubhavatam Kidrisham Veti Loba Tadbhavada Samajani Shachigharva Shindu Harindu. What are these three desires that Krishna wants to fulfill? Who knows one of them?
To understand.
Are you feeling cold, everyone?
No. No.
No, not so far.
They left also because cold? No. Oh no, he's
No
there.
one left.
You want to
Walking
move to
with-
sun or no?
Sun.
We're not
We have to move to the
And
sun.
if you go there, then it will go away.
Yeah, it will go away
Parikram.
eventually.
It will go to Parikla.
Mahal.
No, I am fine because I have blanket, but you people are not having.
They used to cold Maharaj.
I'm not cold.
They used to cold, huh?
Yeah.
Cold
okay.
people, huh?
Tapasya.
Maharaj has the heater on in this summer. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel cold.
It feels very quickly.
Het was een vraag. Het was een vraag.
Of hij het koud
But
hebben.
no
willen
problem.
dat
I
Nee,
het
can
ik
zon
bedoel
speak.
de vraag daarvoor. Die vraag
It's
die
just
we
more
beantwoorden.
20 minutes, half an hour, not more than that.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine.
So, yeah, Prabhuji, you were saying something.
To understand Srimati Radharani's Mahima, basically,
Yes.
her glories. She's a good person.
No, the glories of her love.
The glories of her love.
Yes, Pranaya Mahima. Yes. Then,
Then I first said the first one, second one.
Aswalyana Bhuta Madhurima Kidrisho. What is the sweetness she is relishing in Krishna? What is Krishna's sweetness that she relishes? Krishna, he is Madhuram Madhuram. He is embodiment of sweetness.
Diabetic.
Then,
Happiness she feels when she
the happiness she feels when she is tasting that sweetness. Saukranchasya Madhanubhavatam Kidrisho. Kidrisho means what is. What is that? Krishna don't know. He become completely puzzled. Why Krishna leaves Vrindavan? He leaves Vrindavan to make the love of the gopis go to the highest peak. So when he will become Mahaprabhu, he will be able to taste that. He is preparing this lila. He did not leave just to make them suffer. If he is not leaving, then this Madan Modan, this Madanakya Mahabhav, Rud, Adhirud, this could not be manifested. This Divyamad, madness of love, could not manifest in Srimati Radhika. Then he would not be able to taste that later on when he would take shelter of that mood, of that love. So very humble Krishna had to become. Otherwise, cannot. Another nice explanation Srila Maharaj gives, it is regarding the Rasa Lila. When Srimati Radhika, she leaves Ras, she's seeing that Krishna is also dancing with all the other gopis also. And then what she does? She enters Man. She enters Man and then she leaves Ras. Immediately Krishna also leaves and runs behind her and try to find her. Bhangiya Shri Rasa Mandala Tobe. Without Radharani, Rasa is destroyed, finished. Krishna cannot continue playing Rasa. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioning that Radha is in Man, but not telling what kind of Man, just telling Man. She left in Man. So Srila Bharati Maharaj explained that some devotees think that she became angry because Krishna was with other gopis also. She became jealous.
Sulky.
But Srila Maharaj say no. In Ras, there is no jealousness. In Ras, everyone is equal. And Srimati Radhika, she is very happy to manifest, expand herself in 1 billion gopis to serve Krishna. But why she became in Man? Because actually she was feeling that herself is not enough to please Krishna and needs 1 billion more to satisfy him. And she was feeling that she is very useless. She became so humble. She's very useless. So what is the meaning? What is the need of her there? She's thinking, so better I leave. Krishna is never pleased with me. She's very humble. Yesterday I was telling her, who is the most humble personality in the whole world, whole existence? This is Radha. Because her love reaches the highest, she has the highest love. And those who have more love in the heart, they are more humble persons. The symptom of humility is because love has appeared in your heart. So Radha is most humble. Then she leaves because of that. Because she thinks that her love is not enough for Krishna. And Krishna needs 1 billion, Shatakoti Gopi, 1 billion Gopi are playing Ras with Krishna. And this is the Siddhanta, proper Siddhanta. Another very nice point, also very deep. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is in Jagannath Puri and he is going to Lord Jagannath Darshan in temple. Also during Rath Yatra, Mahaprabhu is also in front of Jagannath. And he is always chanting, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. He is doing kirtan, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Then Srila Maharaj asked, why? What happened?
She saw a mouse
Oh,
There's a mouse. They are coming to you
They're
to hear the katha,
running
I
behind
think.
you.
Came to do Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, to hear the katha.
A little one, Maharaj.
Okay, no problem.
Don't be scared.
So, But Nechla Maharaj asked, why his Mahaprabhu is chanting Jai Jagannath? This is very strange. Mahaprabhu, he's supposed to do Nama Kirtan of primary names, Mukhya Nam. Harinam Sankirtan means with primary names. Krishna's primary names means Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan, Radhakanta, Gopikanta, Radhanath, Madan Mohan, Shyama Sundar, Krishna. These are primary names. But Mahaprabhu is doing kirtan of Krishna's secondary names, Gaunanam, Jagannath, Jagadish, Paramatma, Parameshwar, Nisrinha, Vaman, Narayan. These are all secondary names of Krishna. We should not do Sankirtan of these names as a sadhana. Our sadhana is Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, Krishna's primary names. Sometimes we will sing, no problem, Jai Jagannath, Nrsimhadeva, for some times, but not as a practice. So why Mahaprabhu is all time, he is not doing Mukhya Nam Kirtan. He is doing Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Why is that? Maharaj is asking. Anyone has idea? If not heard before, of course. No? Then, so Maharaj is saying, when Krishna, he arranged for the festival in Kurukshetra, for the occasion of solar eclipse, he invited the whole world to come. Even the Brajabasis came also. After 100 years, they met with Krishna again. And it was a very deep, emotional meeting. Nanda Baba meeting with Krishna, Madhya Yashoda also meeting with Krishna. And also the gopis came. And they also met with Krishna. And they had a very deep interaction, very exchange. And Radha and Gopi, they were telling Krishna, we don't like to see you here in this place with all these people around you, all these soldiers, ministers, family members, servants. We know you are not happy at all in Dwaraka, because they don't know how to make you happy. They don't know how to serve you. Therefore, we know you are not happy. Therefore, we are also not happy. We don't like seeing you holding these weapons with armor, with horses, elephants. 16,108 queens. So much opulence. We like to see you in Vrindavan. We like to see you wearing your yellow dhoti and pitambar, holding your flute, playing the flute in Kadamba Kyari, in Vangshivat, wearing your peacock feather, your turban, grazing your cows with your friends in the banks of Jamuna, doing picnic with sakas, and also stealing butter in the house of the gopis, playing with us in the groves of Vrindavan, in the kunjas of Vrindavan, doing water sport in Radhakunda, in Jamuna. We know that makes you happy. But now, it seems that you have forgotten us. You promised to return after 2 days. But 100 years has passed and you haven't returned. I think you don't need us anymore. I think we cannot make you happy. And you see that you have become a very big person. You have become a big king. You have become so important that Vrindavan has no more significance for you. Now you are the king of the whole world. Now you are Jagannath. Very important person. Now more Brajabasis are not needed anymore. Now you are Jagannath. Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath. So gopis are teasing Krishna. And that's why Mahaprabhu is doing this. Because Jagannath is Krishna. Brajendra Nandana Shama Sundar in Dwaraka, feeling so much separation from Braj. And who is Mahaprabhu? When he is in front of Jagannath, he is Radha. And he is teasing him. Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath.
No.
I am not calling you Govinda. You do not deserve. You are not here. You are not Govinda. So, therefore, Mahaprabhu is saying, Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath. This is very rasik. No one ever spoke about this thing. Even Maharaj, he asked this question to Siddhanti Maharaj and Madhava Priya Prabhu. They say, Maharaj, we never heard, we never even thought that this question could be possible. You know, why Mahaprabhu is singing Jai Jagannath? Those who say that Srila Bharati Maharaj is not Rasika Vaishnava, not Uttama Mahabhagavata, in the line of Gurudev and others, they are completely out of this world. Yeah.
Offenders, yeah.
So, Srila Maharaj's contribution is unparalleled and very grounded with Vaishnava Seva, with love and affection for Vaishnavas. And his books are coming. Slowly, everything will come and manifest. Very beautiful. His biography also is there. So, we're very fortunate to be able to drink from this nectarian source of Brajakatha, Brajakirtan. So, today is enough for us to digest and meditate. Any questions? I know it may be very high for some, those who are new or those who are not familiar with the subject, but doesn't matter. This is what we need. This is the nectar. This is the power. This is the taste of this Krishna movement, the Vaishnavism. Without these things, Baba, become like Kurukshetra, you know. Only Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita, you become like Arjun. Yes, you become like a battlefield. Hard, very hard. Heart will be very hard. We have to go deep in this katha, and this sweetness will come inside. Our heart will be soft, our mind will be cool,
Balanced.
and our this Bhava Mahadavagni, this forest fire of material existence, it will very quickly cool and cool and cool and cool. Yes. And Gurudev has given us so much of this nectar. Just open any book and go deep and read and share, and then we feel real taste for this process. Real taste. Only demigods lila or all this lila, this is okay for some time, but all the time it gives a bitter mood, bitter taste. Bitter taste. Okay?
Now your stories about powerful or become powerful, is that a combination highest love and Shakti, or is it something else?
Yes, like this. Yes. Next time we will meet, I will give one nice explanation about one Gurudev's Katha, that Gurudev, he asked one time in Malaysia in 2009 perhaps, morning walk, say, who is more powerful, Hiranyakashipu or Kamsa? You know that? Who is more powerful, Hiranyakashipu or Kamsa? Now you say, oh Maharaj, you just told that not for us to hear this kind of katha fight between demons and all these things. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes, so now we have to understand why Gurudev makes such question. Why Gurudev? He's interested in wrestling match? No, not at all. So how he will extract ras from this question? Who is more powerful, Kamsa or Hiranyakashipu? Food for thought. Next program I will answer. Okay? Maybe Saturday?
Saturday.
Or Friday,
Tomorrow,
whatever.
yeah,
Oh, tomorrow we do training program.
Training, yeah.
We Arati training program you do at the center.
What time?
Same time, no?
Not the center, but yeah.
Hij is Oester.
Yeah, around 6.
Yeah, see.
6
And so there we will do quiet kirtan without big mic and many things, but we do. And after we do training program, how to do arati.
Okay.
I bet that many who thinks they know, they will learn many new things, nice things. Okay, so even if you know already, please come, because many new things will appear for sure. I have given this training in whole Russia, whole China, whole Brazil, in India, many places, and many nice things devotees are learning, and this is very helpful. Okay. Even if you don't do arati at home, it is very nice just to know and to hear and to be aware of these things. Gurudev wants everyone to be qualified. Like in Math, we have to do all kinds of services for some time to learn everything. We must know everything. At any moment, if you need something, all brahmacharis must be ready to perform all kinds of services. So, I just want to share whatever I have learned, because everyone must be qualified. And grihasthas, they want to be qualified, but there is no such kind of training program. So I'm trying to facilitate that and give that, and gradually all things will be learned, and very nice standard will be very high and very good taste and program, and the energy will flow very nicely. Okay? Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bo Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namaha. I want to take a photo, so